We're recording. All right. So we got quite a bit of, we got quite a, we got a nice amount of people in this class, right? And so uh, I'm not able to keep track of everybody, right? And I won't try, okay? Because that's a losing battle for me. But I will make sure that everybody in here remains honest, right? I will make sure that everybody's gonna be honest in here. Yeah. All the way around the board. We're gonna be honest. Just like I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay? So, I'm gonna leave that right there. Because that's all I need to say about that. Okay? And so, well, put it like this. Let me add one more thing, right? So if I figure out that you're not being honest, right? Particularly on an exam or something like that, there is no negotiations. Okay? Are we clear on that? All right, then we're clear. Then we can go forward then. Okay? So, if you show up, you show up. If you don't, you don't. That's how that works. Those who show up get rewarded. Those who don't, don't. And end the story. Yeah. So, wrong book. Well, let's not go in the book yet. Let's just talk about some problem-solving procedures, right? Word problems, solving word problems, because that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be solving word problems in this class, okay? And so we've already done some conversions, or we done okay. Yes, sir. Say it again.
I said, what's a good email for you? I was trying to see my document on Friday. I couldn't find your email.
You was trying to send me a doctor's excuse on Friday?
Yes, sir.
When did you go to the doctor?
Thursday.
We don't have class on Thursday.
Well, my doctor's excuse was 2 days.
Okay. Well, send it to me. Anthony Stewart. Just go to the thing, type Anthony Stewart, and make sure it's not a student. Make sure it says faculty at the end of it. Yeah, so we're gonna be solving word problems in this class, right? And so there is a procedure for solving a word problem, right? And a lot of times we forget about that procedure, and we learned that procedure a long time ago in maybe middle school or something. I don't know. Maybe elementary. Okay? But we learned that procedure a long time ago, and we forget about it, particularly if we feel some trepidation towards math. Right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I'm gonna write down for you some steps that you should employ when you're solving word problems. All right. It's up to you whether you want to do it. It's up to you. Okay. But I'm just gonna give it to you, and that way I'm in the clear. Okay. So the first thing you should do, number one, can y'all see that blue? Not really? ran through the tissue, man. Alright. Let's see. Was paper wipe the board? Let's see. Yeah. Alright. So let's write problem solving procedure. Okay? Problem solving procedure. Right? And so it's real easy, it's real straightforward, nothing complex. Right? But we just forget about it, like I said, especially if we're not a person who deals with math very often, which I suspect most of you are. All right? So we get, we start feeling emotions, nervousness, fear, right? And so what we do is we run straight to the numbers and we start calculating, which is the worst thing you could do. Okay? Don't confuse you. So the first thing you should do is, and it's gonna seem straightforward, okay? But I'm telling you, when we go through this thing, I'm gonna stop you and I'm gonna say, nope, bag up, because we do it all the time. Identify the problem, right? What that means is, what are we solving for? Okay? Because a lot of times, maybe when we get a little bit further, some calculations might be 2 and 3 steps. And so you might forget, when you get to the third step, you might forget what you was originally trying to solve for. That's very common. All right, so you identify the problem and you write it down, right? So if I'm looking for distance, I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna say distance, and then I'm gonna write down a unit. What units we use for distance? What is a unit of distance in this class? Huh? Meters. Meters. Right? So if the question, I'm gonna read the problem and say, oh, it's asking me for distance. And y'all know when y'all could identify a question in a word problem. That's all it is. Identifying the question. What is the distance? Okay? And I normally write a question mark there so I can remember. Right? Then, number 2, right? And this is not really for y'all, okay? Because this is physical science, so it's not really, well, actually it is, all right? Because we're going to deal with different time scales, okay? So ask yourself, well, how or what time scale? I shouldn't say how, what time scale? And when I say what time scale, I mean what time scale, right? All right, so did it take the car to travel? Did it take hours for the car to cover the distance? Did it take minutes? Did it take seconds? Are we talking about light? Right? When we talking about astronomy and things like that, we're talking about light. We think about things that move really, really fast. Okay, so we have to know what we're talking about in terms of time, because time is the ultimate independent variable. Everybody know what an independent variable is? Anybody know what an independent variable is? What is a variable?
Part of an experiment. Doing part of an experiment.
Something that changes in an experiment.
And so an independent variable would be something that is by itself regardless, like it doesn't depend on
anything else. Time is the ultimate. Time is the ultimate independent variable. It varies, but it don't depend on nothing. Nothing but God. Right? It's going to keep going forward no matter what happens. Time will keep going forward. All right? 3. All right. Oh, yeah. Givens, right? And that's what sometimes we like to skip to, right? Because we want to get to the math real quick. What's the math? What's the math? What's the equation? Equation. Right? Givens, right? So what is the problem giving you? Y'all know that. What is the problem giving you? It's got to give you something. It's got to give you something in order to solve it, right? We can't solve a math problem with 2 variables. Nah, we can't do that. At least not in this class. So I need all of the information I need except one thing. So in your problem, you should have all of the information you need except one thing. And you got to make the connection between that one thing you don't have and this, which is what they're asking for. It might be very straightforward. They might say, what is the distance? Or they might say something else. What is the speed? Which would allow you to calculate the distance. Follow what I'm saying? So, givens. That's 3. 4 is draw a diagram. Okay? So again, this is not a math class. We apply mathematics, meaning that all of the math in this class is real. It is not made up. When you go and take a math class and somebody gives you a bunch of math problems, they are making those up. They can make those up. In physics, no. It has to obey the laws of nature. So these problems are not made up. So draw a diagram. Draw a cartoon. I like to call them cartoons. They say the man gonna jump off the building and the building was this height and you're trying to find at what point he lands, then you're gonna draw a simple, right? Stick man on the building. Boom, he jump off. He hit right here. We need to know this distance right here. Right? Can everybody understand that diagram? Okay. But your diagram is for you. So as long as you can understand it, right? Then, and it makes sense to you, then that's good. All right? And number 5. Number 5 is what? The equations, right? That's the 5th step. We normally do equations in the first step, the first thing we think about. And we skip all of these things. And we start trying to do equations and stuff. I guarantee you, if you train yourself to do these things right here every time before you start calculating anything, okay? You're gonna have a better outcome. Trust me, right? You're gonna have a better outcome. And once you get equations right, 6, of course, you solve, right? And check your units, right? So when I check my units, that goes back to here. Why do I say that? Anybody? Anybody want to take a guess? Why, when I check my units, I have a pretty good idea that I'm answering the question if I had a correct unit, right? So, my units come out correctly, and I'm going to show you this. It's called dimensional analysis. If my units come out correctly, right? For instance, in this example I just gave, I told you I wanted a distance. If I calculated a distance and my units came out and my units came out to meters, then I have a great confidence that my calculation is correct. That's called dimensional analysis. All right. But like I said, we're gonna get some practice with that. Okay? So I hope everybody wrote that down. All right. If you didn't, get it from your neighbor. All right. Let's put this out here. Motorcycle. Let's see. All right, there we go. So let's get some practice. All right. So a rock is dropped from rest from the Golden Gate Bridge how far will it have fallen after after 3 seconds? So, question. What's the first step? Huh? Okay. What's the problem? You're finding a distance. It said how far. Let's write this one in blue then. All right. So it said how far. How far, how far will the rock have fallen? So that means distance, right? And what's the unit for distance? Meters. And what's the next step? Time scale. What's time scale? Seconds. So we're talking seconds here, right? And what's the next step? What's the givens? Huh? What is 3 seconds? What is it? Time. T equals 3 seconds. What else? So what that mean? Huh? Think about it. You got it. You right. You right. You barking. You beating around the bush. No. What's the other one?
Free fall.
Starts with an S. Speed. If I drop something, the moment I drop it, how fast is it going? The very moment I let it go, how fast is it moving? 0. Right? So that means that our initial speed is 0 meters per second. Initial, right? What else? What causes something to fall? Gravity. Right? No? You disagree?
No, it's not that I disagree. I'm lost. Like I get what you're saying. I just don't know where you're like pulling it from. Like, wouldn't it?
A rock.
Be, like,
A rock is dropped.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be free fall though? Isn't there like?
It is. That's gravity.
Oh,
Free
I
fall.
said that. You said no.
No. You said that to the wrong question. You said free fall to the wrong question. All right. I was asking about something else at first when you said free fall. But yes, this is free fall. I was asking what is the speed of the object when I drop it? That's 0. Right? But yes, this is undergoing free fall motion because I dropped it off of the bridge. And yes, it's being impacted by gravity like every other thing on Earth. If I drop anything off of the Golden Gate Bridge, it will undergo free fall. All right? So there's an equation for free fall. Does anybody remember?
Distance equals half gravity.
Yes, right. But let's go. Right. Yes, right. So, oh yeah. Look, let's just keep it simple here. Right. What is it? Distance equals what?
Equals half
1/2 g t squared. Right. So now what?
You plug it in.
Huh?
Plug in your givens.
Yeah. Plug them in, right? So y equals 1/2. G is 9.8 meters per second squared, and T is 3.03. I thought it was some. Oh no, it's 3. 3, right? 3 seconds. All right. So y is on the Cartesian coordinate system. What do we have? Everybody know what a Cartesian coordinate system is? You never heard of a Cartesian coordinate system? You heard of X and Y, though. You heard of a graph, right? You see this out, you know what this is, right? Right? That's a Cartesian coordinate system. So this is, we can separate this, right? This is a Cartesian coordinate system. It's a grid.
Y is just distance.
Yes. It's the distance down. That's why we call it Y. Why? Because free fall is doing what? Up and down. Well, free fall is always coming down, right? But you can be, right? Because if you throw something up, it's got to go up first. It's got to fight the gravity first, right? That's why the most dangerous part of a plane ride is when? Takeoff and landing. Why? Gravity. The closer you are to the earth, the stronger the earth pulls on you. That's why when you get up to the cruise altitude, it's what? Smooth sailing now. But before that, you're doing all kind of what? Turbulence. Okay? Now that got something to do with air resistance and clouds and all that too. But it's still, the closer you are to the earth, it's basic physics. Basic. Closer you are to the earth, the more it pulls on you. And that's everything. All right, so what's the answer? $44.1 what? Meters. 44.1 is not an answer. Or it's an incomplete answer. 44.1 meters. Right? And so that was 5, right, to solve, right? That's what we did right here. So let's just write 5 here. We solved, right? Solve. Right? And 6 is to go back and check your units. That's what we said, right? So I can erase the Cartesian coordinate system, right? So I'm going back and checking my units. I say y, 1/2. What's the units for gravity?
What's the number?
The units.
Meters per second.
That's speed. Meters per second
Squared.
squared. Meters per second squared. What's the unit for time? Seconds. So if I square that, right? And ultimately I'm going to end up with what?
With the answer.
No, you already gave me the answer. I'm asking you, what am I going to end up from this? The unit what? Huh? Meters. That's how I know that this equation is correct. Because that's what I was looking for here. So, and I know that this is going to do what? That's going to do what? Cancel out. Second squared. Seconds, when I square, going to give me second squared. They cancel out. I'm left with meters. So whatever my answer is, I got 44.1 meters. Okay? So this is a problem-solving strategy. It's particularly important for folks who don't deal with mathematics on a day in and day out basis. This is why I'm telling it to you. I'm spending a whole day on this. Okay? You gotta organize your thinking. Otherwise, sometimes it's gonna seem overwhelming if you don't organize first. And that's what this is doing. Gotta organize your thinking. Questions? All right, so this is called dimensional analysis. Right? This right here. This is dimensional analysis. right, so I think that's we don't have enough time to start another one. Yeah, make sure you keep trying to log in to mastering. All right, let's give it one more day. On Wednesday, I promise, on Wednesday, if it's not working by Wednesday, we're gonna have to go walk over to more. And we're gonna have to find out, because y'all, who you got in? You got in. You in too? You the only one. Something ain't right. Huh? Oh, and yeah, and since everybody's in, right? Well, now I'm gonna wait until Wednesday so we can wait until you get yours together. But you're gonna start seeing some things pop up on mastering soon. Give you some practice. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
You just said to check the units, huh? On the 6th step, on that little 1 through 6.
Yeah. You said what about the 6th step?
You said check the units on the last step, huh?
Yes,
That's
check
all
your
it is.
units. Dimensional analysis. This is number 6. Damn, I should have wrote that on
No, I
there.
wrote that down.
Yeah, this is number 6. This is the 6th step.
All right,
But I can't put my name on
Say it again.
Can't put my name on.
Huh?
Can't put my name on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You have a clue?
I also had an excuse for the last 2 weeks that I wasn't in class.
Okay.
We were out of town, like with band and stuff.
Okay. Did I mark you no show?
I'm not sure, but I still have your class on my
Oh,
schedule.
well, I guess I didn't. Then. You must. Did you come? I guess you came and signed the roll at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, maybe I marked.
Well, I think I did, but I did come to your class at one point, and I did sign a roll. But it was an Indian.
I'm about to
dude
say
that was
if it wasn't you, somebody signed the roll because
here.
I
You know what I'm
marked.
saying? It was an Indian dude here, and he was.
Oh yeah, my graduate student. He works for me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He works for me.
I emailed you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't no just random person. Nah.
So you say you're gonna assign like study questions on the but
Homework questions.
homework questions?
Yes.
So there's study questions on there too.
Oh yeah, it's additional resources and all that on there too. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. You got to get into that software. Yes, indeed. And you can always ask Mr. Google Man, right? You can always go to Mr. Google Man and whatever it is, whatever concept we studying, type that into Mr. Google Man. Ask for a worksheet.
Okay. Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah. Practice problems. Yes, ma'am.
Friday. What do we do in class Friday?
Go to the video. You don't know about the videos? And you don't check the Canvas page?
No, not.
Well, you need to get
Well,
on
I
the
didn't
Canvas
check it
page.
Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, it's all being recorded.
I
So
just had to make sure it was.
yeah, I record every time I'm here. I record it, and so you can go back and look at the video. Do whatever you need to do. Slow it down, rewind it. Right?
Write it down. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
All right.